Hello and welcome. Right, we are on the move today. There is no building, so we are putting a pause on this. This is where we got to for the Charizard. This will probably, the building of this now, carry on Thursday, because that's when the next live stream is going to be. There won't be an evening one tomorrow or Wednesday due to other commitments. So we are going to be tucking into all of the different modular bits and pieces, and they're going to try and hopefully go on that shelf. Now, if they fit, which I'm hoping some of them will, we can then start to put some base plates down, and then we can start to make it all look neat and tidy. But over the next couple of live streams, we're going to be moving the modulars now. Then that will then allow us to pull the Star Wars stuff out and put them round and sort of make triangles and all sorts of bits and pieces. So Jay, hello to you. Oddly, hello to you. Ultrabrix, hello to you. Reese, hello to you. And afternoon and evening to absolutely everybody. Now, everybody that has liked the video so far, guys, again, thank you very much indeed. Because, of course, we all know it helps. So it is 316 day today, says Jay. So, obviously, that is all about Mr. Stone Cold. I should have had some glass shattering as a one of the emojis, shouldn't I? So, yeah. So we will tuck in and see what is what. But, yeah, there's a shelf behind me. It's tight because literally before I hit live, I was like, uh-oh. And I've measured it and it should fit by a stud or two. So we're going to take off just the sort of Cantina Tatooine shelf, which doesn't make any sense at all. You can't see it. Put the modulars across that strip. So then when you take a step back and it's all lit, you're going to have Star Wars top, middle, and across the bottom. And then you can have a city underneath the city all going well. And then that's basically what we're going to hope for. And then, of course, if you are building anything, doing anything, or having fun with anything, let me know what it is you are doing. And then, of course, we can tuck in. But you are now going to have that view for today because you're going to be facing forward. And I am going to be underneath that bit just there. So, yes, everything from the 8080 onwards is going to have to shunt and move for the architecture stuff. So the architecture expansion on the right hand side, because of course there is another one coming. So there's going to be another big one coming on top of the Eiffel Tower. So we didn't really leave room for any of that, did we? Which didn't really help when it got moved over onto that side. So that can get moved over, and then the that can crack on. So yeah, hopefully everybody's had a good day today. I thought of that, oddly. I thought of that when I got it before. I was like, yep, it needs to be. There we go. So oddly's already crumbled with a purchase of a Canadian Playmobil figure, which is not too bad. Now, one of the first things I am thinking of doing is maybe tag teaming the bank for the cinema. I think that would look better, personally. So what do we think? Cinema or bank? Because I can tag, I am tempted because I want to try and keep that one on show because I do like the bank. So we will be having a look-see at all of these bits and pieces as we go. But yeah, hopefully it's just going to be a case of pull one or two of them out, put a load of them in, and hope for the best. And I save some base plates as well, because I don't need to worry about base plates, because it's exactly the same width as the 32 by 32 base plates. I'm going to actually save base plates doing this, which is great. Yeah, so Reese has had a flat tire. Seems like you and Sean must be driving the same way. You both had a flat at the moment. So yeah, let us know what it is you're building. Let us know what it is you are doing, and yeah, we'll crack on and just see how this unfolds, which will be nice and exciting. So yeah, I'm going to take this out because I think the bank would actually be facing the correct way for a start, because now we're going to have like this split. The city doesn't wrap around, does it? So it's now going to be the back of the bank will be the block off, so that will go that way. And to me, that just makes more sense. There you go. So that's the first change. So now you've got the bank. That's the end of the thing. And yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice because we've now got the bank next to the police station, which is obviously always a good bit of fun. Right, I am down here. I'm in here somewhere. That's what I'm doing. that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. So we will try and get this bodged on to somewhere. Yeah, we go. These lights are great. Jay's currently moving 1,000 wrestling figures. All those different inches in your hand, Jay. Eh? Absolutely outrageous. Crumble is. Oh, what one did you get, Reese? What have you got? Yes, I'm about to. I'm going to headbutt this table far too many times. I'm trying to put it off, as you can tell. But yeah, because we're going to have all the modulars. If the modulars fit, I should have a long, lengthy shelf to put them all on up here, which I haven't actually ever done. I don't understand why I've not done it. But now we've got modulars under modulars. It should work out, he says, to be okay. I just need to move the cantina and the sail barge. That's basically what I need to move. And then if I can make that fit on the ground level, then we condense the Star Wars stuff down, and then we are good. Now there is opportunity for the Venator to go somewhere potentially, but we just need to figure out where that Venator can go, because that is in scale with all of these other Miniland models. It's the only one that is in scale. So just need to figure out what's going to happen. Yeah, not a good time. Good place to change it, but then not a good day to do it, is it? So at least you got it. At least you got it done. I remember getting a flat in an IKEA car park, and I had to lie down in the pouring rain. That was depressing. That was very, very depressing. Right, that is going. Now, the architecture Miniland walkthrough, I don't know what colour to do that walkthrough. I don't know whether I'm tempted to go actually sand, because we're going to go green on the one walkthrough. I thought, well, sand with grey and other colours would look quite nice, rather than it just being grey. I think the grey would be a bit too overpowering. Nick, welcome back. How are we? How is life, Nick? So it's basically it's going to be Star Wars, modulars, Star Wars, all underneath each other, which should be good. Right, I'll catch back up with you guys and girls in a second, and we will just pull some of these out and then figure out what's going to go where. Because obviously the Ghostbuster Firehouse isn't going to fit here, so that's going to have to go in. Ghostbuster Firehouse is going to get pulled out. The shadow box is going to get pulled out. You can't see any of this on the live anyway, so. We did it all. You couldn't see any of it because of how it's set up, and you still can't see it now. So this display is basically for me, isn't it? So I can do it. But yeah, modular on the line. They either need a lot of breathing space with roads going around it with 15 studs of space, or they're on a shelf. I think the shelf would work. So I think. But again, doing this, I'm going to get a ton of grey base plates back, and I'm going to get a load of sand base plates back. So. Which is always good. Yeah, but you guys have never been able to see that shadow box. The shadow box in all of its glory. It was, don't forget, it was in that far corner. We've got all that space in that top corner, and I don't know what to put beside that bit up in there. I'm sure somebody will have an epiphany, but I could put the shadow box back there on the angle and it just sticking out like it was. But that's the only way that you're going to be able to see it on camera. That's it. That's the only way it's going to work. That's the only way it's going to work. Yes, that's it. Well, the actual bottom, this got painted. Jay was with me. We went to B&Q and we found some metal flake paint, and it's supposed to be the same color as the sunset from Tatooine. Oh, you got the Jurassic Park Dio. Oh, nice. Oh, Nick, not a problem. Well, I'm glad you're back. Glad you're safe, and hopefully everything is good. Busy for I've just seen the comment was good. Just busy for a few months. Well, I'm glad you're back. Glad you're safe, and then hopefully you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, Nick. So good to speak to you, and just jump back in next time you're free. Just jump back in. So Reese says £150 on the Jurassic Park dial. Not too bad. Right, there we go. We're away. So we are working on the bit which is basically, well, it is just awkward. Awkward. But yes, because I can't. Yeah, I just don't know what can go up beside the slice. Because I don't think the sail barge would fit there. If the sail barge would fit there, that'd be ideal. Don't know the balls would fit there. I'm not too sure if that would. Because I think the wingspan might be a bit too long. So I don't know if that would go up. Just eyeballing if there's anything else that might look nice on camera. But I don't know. I don't know. The sail barge is obviously a cool looking thing, but I don't particularly want to be breaking these as we move them. So, yeah, we're doing a bit of Jurassic Park research last night, weren't we? And there's so many sets, and they've just released a load of new Jurassic World sets as well. Going by, it's all for whatever reason, it's all through their own Instagram story at the moment. They haven't done anything online, so I'm not too sure what the hell they're waiting for. But if you look at their story, they've got all of the new sets that are coming out. So I don't know what that's all to do with. Oh, the fossil. You go for the rabbit, have you? Reese's rabbit. Well, I can't remember what the SKU code was on that, but that was definitely the SKU code I was given. That was definitely what it was. I can't believe I typed that in. I was like, why did you order a giveaway rabbit for? You know. Maybe it was the wrong website, Reese. Maybe you were thinking of something else. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe. Well, whatever that was is broken. I didn't realise that was all separate. Whoops, my bad. Smashy. Oh, that's what it was. No, that can stay there. I'm not going to be able to reach that for a while. That's not going to happen. Not going to reach that for a while. The one digit was very costly because it I don't know what it was, but it was some sort of rabbit. Yeah, the sail barge is very, very good. It is very, very good. But as everybody knows, like you can't have everything on display at the same time. And obviously, depending on where I face the laptop, you're going to see different things anyway, aren't you? So, the sail barge is huge. You never get it all the side flaps open up, and you've got all the detail on the inside. So it's a very detailed thing. But yeah, all the Star Wars sets are massive. That's the problem. So it's it's just one of those. But that little shelf is free to start actually moving what was in the picture. So I'll start off with the detective's office and basically hope from there. That's all I can do. But this, I'm looking forward to getting the architecture stuff over because the Colosseum is going to go in first. The Colosseum will go with the shadow boxes, and then we'll just pull it. Basically, just try and make it fit as nice as possible. And the 8080 will just have to stay where it is. Stay where it is or get thrown against the wall, one or the other. If he says, if these fit. Oh my days, that is close. Oh, oh. So there's a bit of wood that you can't see supporting the middle of the table. That is the problem. Yeah, that will go. Do I want that there? I want it in the corner. Do I want a corner and a corner? Or am I just going long? Am I going long length? How shall I have it? What should go next to this? What's this shelf going to be made up of? It's like, it's bigger than what I thought it was. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Let's be honest. Nobody's ever heard that in their life. But do I go assembly square first, or do I go something else first and then assembly square and the ace detective? Because it's a long shelf. It's the full width of the thing, so I don't know how. I should have counted how many base plates there were. So we're just going to guess, because I might need to grab a 16 by 32 thing. So what does everybody want? You lot are making a display, so. And no, the shadow box won't fit underneath there. Well, it might actually. The shadow box might fit on the shelf, but it won't work. It could well be. It could well be. Well, I've got the assembly square is what I'm looking at. So why don't we try that next? Got the assembly square next. So why not? Again, I am a bit scared that some of these aren't going to fit with the height. I think I've got literally a foot, but it's at a certain point. I'm stuck now. I've got myself stuck. Oh, balls. Balls and balls. Guess what doesn't fit? You are joking. You are joking. Do I have to angle that underneath to get it on? What a disaster that is going to turn out to be. You don't want that. Oh, you are kidding. You are kidding. Corner and a corner would be logical. We haven't got any corners. We've got the cinema, which will go at the other end. The only other one we've got is the corner garage. Everything else is up here, unless we start to take this display apart and we change it about. Because I've only got the bank, the cinema palace, which would be facing the wrong way. Well, I could try, but the fact that it's all falling apart, I think you could kind of see yourself that it didn't fit. You know how Jay's been in this room, so I'm not 100% sure how he expects me to get a laptop even closer to where it is. That's it. That's as close as you're going to get. You can see the wood there. There's a bit of wood there. Look, there's a bit there, and there's a bit up here where my finger is. You can see it. Yeah, I need a 2 to corner. I know. But you can see how close the other one is. You can't even see the top of it, can you? So you know it's going to be tight. See? That's how close it is. Look at that. Let's see what can be done to the Diva. There. That's where you're at. You can't, Jay. It's YouTube software. You can't do that on this. You can literally just do one thing. It's the basic is what we're doing. Yeah, it's going to be, Ryan, I think most of it's going to go up soon. That wouldn't be a bad idea, to be fair. I do not think this is going to fit. Because that is hitting. Oh my days. That bit's in, the next bit's not going in. That bit's got to come off. That's not going to fit. See? There's your close-up of proof that it's actually physically hitting the top before it's got the other bit of wood. So there's absolutely no way that's going to fit on there. Too tall. Too tall. And I'm full arm length as well. So this snaps in half now. Oh. Balls. Well, that's put a spanner in the works. Oh dear. Oh dear. Not good. Not good. Sensational, which means what else is going to actually not fit in here? Because I don't think the assembly square is the tallest, is it? That sucks. 1980s Pirate, good afternoon. Get called for an eyeball exam. Ah. Well, fingers crossed. You'll be able to see nice and clearly after. And you'll be living the dream. Me, on the other hand, I think I am absolutely snookered, if I'm honest. I'm going to have to measure every single one of these modulars to see which one fits. Bugger, and balls. Oh, why is it just not simple? Oh, God, why is it just not simple? How big is that shelf? What, literally a foot? That's it. And that is... No, clearly not. Yeah, but the calyxes aren't empty, are they? That's the problem. We put stuff in the calyxes already. We'd have to go on the other... Oh, God. That would look really nice as well. Maybe that's why they've never been on there. That kind of makes sense. Oh, yeah. They don't fit. The shadow box will. The height the shadow box will fit, but nothing else will. Nice. How you getting on with that 1980s? Okay. That's it. It's just the shelf, and the shelf will snap in half as well. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that would have worked fine. That would have looked really nice. But no. I'm off by literally a stud tip on every single one of them is not going to work. Do I do my Jaws display on there instead? Rather than having it in a double deep calyx? I wonder if the 16 by 16 modulars might fit. So I've got the Harbour Master. Oh, I'm stumped now. Honestly, it doesn't make a difference. No matter what I do up here, it just doesn't fit. Oh, there's a shelf. I'll use a shelf. That won't fit for that idea. Oh, then, boss. The architecture stuff. It's got to go on the right-hand side for expansion of the architecture bits. So the plan was to have all the modulars underneath the modulars, so it was all grouped together and all look neat and tidy. Put all of the architecture stuff that was on top of the Kallax over to this side. Colosseum comes over to this side. Then we've got room for the Eiffel Tower, and we've got room for the other big thing. And now I am stuck. Harry Potter would fit. We'd have Harry Potter in a length. The Gringotts Bank's not going to fit on there, though, so that's completely pointless as well. Ghostbusters Firehouse is too tall. Bugger. Well, where's the 8080 going to go, though? That's not going to fit on the shelf, is it? So, no, that's the 8080 will have to stay there. What am I putting on this shelf? Because the modulars were going to go in the shelf and the Star Wars stuff was going to go on the floor. Because the architecture sets can't go there. The architecture sets went there. It still doesn't give us enough space for expansion. They would look nice there, but the collar, I would still need space for the big ones. The exact height before everything starts, it's literally a foot. I got 30. I've got 1 foot. And obviously the assembly square is, well, as you've just seen, is taller, but so is the restaurant, so is all the other, because the owls is literally rubbing, but we've already got the Marvel stuff in, and some of the Marvel stuff would fit. No, not now. It's all in brick, isn't it? I haven't got the drills or anything. And if I moved the shelf down, the stuff wouldn't fit underneath the shelf. So basically, no. Sugar. Because that's not going to work as a Miniland walkthrough, because I can't do the design with the smaller bits on that, so I can't move that. Obviously, the Ninjago stuff's not going to fit. It's nothing. I don't think. Oh yeah, well the Star Wars stuff's underneath there, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah. We haven't even got round to that bit yet. No. If you put the Kallax in there, you lose all the floor space. So then you can't. Where does the cheese go? Because it would. Jay's right, but the cheese wouldn't fit in there. This is the thing. This is the Star Wars stuff's too big. Because it wouldn't. The sides wouldn't be long enough to put them in. Oh, what a swine. Because don't forget, it's the balls, it's all the other little bits and pieces. So, well, that one looks nice on the shelf by itself, doesn't it? It looks fantastic. Pretty, yeah, literally. Yeah, 29.5, Jay. 29.5. Well, it's not, again, John, as such, it's still carrying on moving the other little bits and pieces, because this is the knock-on effect of moving everything. So when it starts, it always gets to this bit, and it's like, didn't think of that when we started this. Shadow box will fit. Height from the floor to the bottom of the table. That is 31 inches or 79 centimeters. I've got a funny feeling these might be all of them. I think. Some of them will, but not all of them. So, like, the restaurant looks like it's too tall. The 16 by 32s will. The bank would. But I wanted just to clear this. The Harry Potter stuff would. But I wasn't expecting not to be able to get basically all of it on, which is not ideal. Yeah. Oh, smeg. What? I don't even need to try it. I can see it. That the restaurant, the Parisian restaurant's too tall. Potter would go. Potter would fit, but because Potter's tiny. But I don't really think Potter would suit. There's loads of space for Potter, look. So that'd take you could easily put Potter down there. But it's then what goes beside it. And the bank won't fit anymore. Because that would free up 4 base plates. Well, yeah, technically. I brought that to the front. Yeah, the Calyx will fit, but what are we doing with the cheese? Because the massive length won't fit in that. So, because the Star Wars stuff won't fit in the Calyx. And the Star Wars stuff has to go here because it's the only place it can now go because you've rearranged the whole room. But I've got a funny feeling like this is too tall. I think that's going to be too tall to go underneath. The chimney's going to have to come off. I might be able to tip that under. I've got to get it past that wood. So, can I do it that way? Oh, can I? Oh, you dirty. Right, there might be some swearing, but there might be a way. I took that bit off. It's just going to go one of two ways. It's just smash completely, but when it's in, it's not moving. Because it's taller behind the bit of wood. So if I can put it on the old angle and tip it towards me and then try and slide and glide it in, I've somehow then got to get the roof back on. Ah, yeah, that's it. Not enough. Yeah, that the cheese is far too big. Far too big for the cheese. But good afternoon to you, John. Good afternoon. Now, is that set back far enough for the wood? Because if it is, we might be very, very jammy. And if we're not, then there might be tears of clear or brown rain to stop myself from throwing this against the wall. All right, let's get a bird's eye view for you so you guys can go and see what's going on. Because the Venator, the cheese could still go in the oversized Miniland side until it all starts to fill up. and it can become a future problem in a year or two. Right. That's the highest bit. Oh, you sexy thing. Oh, I've got contact. Go on, get on there. Oh, please. Right, that's gone back on. That is naughty. That is naughty. There is... I can now slide that on the shelf, but it's not going to come back off. If I can do the same thing with all of them, that might be a way of doing it. But I'm going to have to be tactical, because I'm going to have to slide the things around the side. I can't put it directly over the top. It's like, would it fit downstairs in the bath? Well, at least that's not a bad place to. I wonder if it floats. Oh, crunch! I wonder if it floats. Now, as long as I can. Oh, Jesus, that is tight. That is tight. I just need enough. Oh, go on. Ah, my finger. Oh. Is that going to go? That's touching a bit at the back. All right, that's in. That's amazingly, that's gone in. And it is, I mean, I don't know, it's bright, but can you see how close that is on the left-hand side? I haven't touched it yet. It's all right. That is naughty. That is naughty. But that bit's hidden. So can you see the problem I've got? So because you've got this bit of wood up here, that bit, and you've got another bit behind it. So I'm gonna anything that's high across the top, I've got to take off and slide. But of course, what you've got to remember is I've got to go over the stud to get it, try and get the thing actually in. But before we get carried away, is that where that one's going, or does this need to be moved into the middle? Panic over. Well, I got honestly, I physically could not get another stud on the top of the assembly square. There's absolutely physically no way that would work. So, like the cinema, for example, is definitely too tall. Just like, now you have a plan. So basically, he's just wanting me to suffer. Now you're going to suffer. There's always a plan, Jay, and it just gets thrown to high hell because nothing ever works properly. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Well, just go there. Yes, that'd be much easier. So where is this going? Is it going to the left or is it going into the middle? Because you can see, you know what I'm trying to do now, so there's no point being that close. So I'll plug you back in. So that's what we're looking at. Does it need to be in the middle? I think it needs to be over, doesn't it? So what am I sacrificing? Because I've got two corners, I think. So the corner garage might see if I can. I wonder if I can put the cinema in. Doubt it. I doubt it. Do not break. Do not break. Do not break. Oh. Hang on. I'm hoping that's got enough. We'll see. That shelf now looks like it's bowing to me. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's a corker of a set. maybe, just maybe, Thanos, no, what the hell have I just hit? Cinema is not going to fit. Too tall. That's going to be too tall. The cinema doesn't fit in the Kallax either. I know it's a bit, but it's a bit. I don't understand why that suddenly happened. That. I didn't put it up. I'd like to make that weary to everybody. So obviously this bit clearly is never going to fit on there. Oh, that's not going to go in. So no, that's a fail. That can go in the Kallax. That was the tallest, I think. So that was the tallest. This was supposed to be a really nice, simple thing. Just put them in and end the stream. Just a nice, easy start till Monday. No. No. If that's not going to fit, then I'm going to have to put the bookshop in, if that's going to fit. No, hang on. All right, that's it. This is going to be a right royal pain in the ass to do it this way, but it's going in. Sean, how are we? You're still on track? Yeah, it'd be fine, Reese. What's the worst that can happen? The shelf will get ripped off the wall, and I'll come in the morning, and it will all be smashed. That would be an interesting video, wouldn't it? I'm sure it'd be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Might be a good idea to reinforce that, though. Maybe. I might, just for tonight, put some base plates on top of that lap on the top of the computer, just to prop it up in a few places. But yeah, I should, in theory, get most of this on that. I was just expecting not to get Potter and not to get the firehouse. Because there's the other thing that we could do. We could actually put the shadow box could actually go on this shelf in the middle. It will fit. If we think the shadow box would work on this shelf, we could put these either side of the shadow box. Because this is literally just for display. It's not going to be used as part of the theme park. Sean's on the mend. Good. I'm glad you're on the mend. That's all right then. I'm in tears over here, Sean. Oh, oh no. It's just going to start to get tricky. Do you know I said I've got to slide it in from the side and I need to leave enough space? Well, I haven't left enough space, have I? How I'm going to try and now... I don't know how I'm going to get these in because I've got to lean over the Star Wars stuff. This was not planned at all. This was a 5-minute job, I think. What are we in now? 45 minutes. Oh. Can I get you round? Yes, just. That looks all right, doesn't it? Doesn't look too bad. That's all right. Apparently, Sean, right? Apparently, Ultra Bricks was seeing other people at the weekend. And it wasn't just any other people. It was other Lego people. Like, it's not me, it's you. I was like, right. That was shocking. Shocking behavior. I know, Sean. You could rewatch what was written. It was worded. Been up to anything exciting this week? I was like, anybody been up to any exciting stuff this weekend? I've been seeing other Lego people, is how it was worded. Outrageous. How dare one? How dare one? We're looking at that. That all right? It works underneath here, though, doesn't it? It does go with. It does go with the rest of this because obviously, with it being what type of display it is, it's just turning into an absolute royal ball ache to try and do this. I'm literally going to have to be lying down. Oh. You're not even plugged in. That's not gonna end well, is it? Hang on. That is not gonna end well. Get in there. Thank you. Guys, everybody's liked the video so far. Thank you very much indeed, because it helps. It helps. I'm struggling to crawl back underneath the table at the moment. Oh, there we are. We're live. Right, so I would say we're just over halfway on that. So now, now, what do we put in it? Are we going shadow box next, or are we going to have the shadow box in this bit? Or are we going shadow box up top? What do we think? Shadow box up or on this shelf? Because we've got potentially we could just get the rest of the Harry Potter stuff on here and be done with Potter, or I think the shadow box it'll be tight, but I think the shadow box would fit. But then would it look better on the other side? What do we think? Because I have got a townhouse that can get put with the Jurassic Park display and the other Calax. So that townhouse is fine. I've then got the Dragon, which obviously isn't going to fit underneath there whatsoever. No, the full flaps wouldn't work, Ultra. It would have to be closed because when he gets excited and the car comes out, that car would snap because it wouldn't even be on the shelf. It's deceiving how big it is. So he would have to be in there folded up. So he would go to the other side, or I put the Potter stuff in there and just be done with alleyway just as a line. And then it's that bit's done. And then we've just got a random bank dotted about. But I still don't know what to put up at the top. That's the thing. Yeah, the spread eagle formation wouldn't work. It's so big, it's ridiculous, that shadow box. So big. But yeah, so we've got options. Harry Potter, which can't go in there because I can't take the roof off. It's not modular, is it? So no, Potter won't work in there. So that's so Potter will have to go into a Calax. Bugger. So Potter has to go. Well, it's got no choice. It can't go on the shelf. Because the shadow box itself I can't use it as a divide, because if I could slide the shadow box behind the 8080's leg and move the Jazz Club, so we got like an L shape, it would cut the area off. But if I did that, I don't think the Colosseum would fit. Shove the Potter stuff under the table / bin. Oh. So that will not work. So the cinema has to fit, but how am I going to make that work? We're gonna have to go full penetration, I think, and just hope for the best. I'm gonna have to slide that in right over itself. The inside of the cinema, though, does look pretty smart. Can you see? You can't see, can you? Why don't I just take it apart? So you've got a random red base plate on the inside of this one. Never be found again. So you've got a random red base plate with the bits and pieces on the inside. And then you've actually then got the actual cinema is a full 32 base plate. So you've got the seat, you've got the projector. You can fill it up and do whatever it is that you want to do. But yeah, we can slide and glide it straight in. But I'm going to have to do it how I did it with the other ones. Potentially. If not, then I am going to be looking. Well, this will go in a Calax, but it won't fit with the top on a Calax either. So I don't think I'm going to get this fully erect, but it would be nice to have it. Yeah, we'll just do something different. Hang on. We'll do something different. Because I've now got to get it over the balls and slide it in. And then if I did it like that, that works nicely. I know you can't see it properly, but it does look nice. I'll show you what it looks like first, and then we'll carry on. You guys can let me know. I need to get you a little stool for you to sit on. I know I've done some difficult things in the past, but this is starting to get there, I think. Right, you need to come to me. Oh, you're going back underneath there. So that's what it's looking like. I know the shelf isn't slanting that much. It's just you're stood on pieces. Oh, I think that bit doesn't look too bad, does it? It's just can I get the next bit in? Sean's like slide and glide. I still don't know how we managed to make the emoji that we did last night. That was just fluke. I've got to get this on and through, I think. I've got to go underneath that. Oh, go on, please, please, please. Oh no. No, it's just too big. Because the outer edge is stuck under the wood. So that is basically what it will do. So even with a slide and glide, it is not going to work. So I've got no choice but to put the bank there. Which I didn't want to do, but I've got no choice. So the bank is going to go. And I think what I do is I put the bank between the pool house and, yeah, okay. I didn't want to do it, but I've got no choice. I've got no choice. Oh, I've got it stuck now. I'm stuck. It's wedged. Bugger. Balls. Come on then. Come on. All right. No joy, no joy, no joy. Okay. We will try that again. Let's get you back up there. You are safe. I do not want to break you, obviously. But yeah, hopefully everybody's good. Let us know what it is you're thinking of building this week, or ordering, or doing, of course, anything like that. As I will be crying. Literally, I am going to be crying myself to sleep, I think. It's not even up for discussion. It's just going to happen. Now, is the bank actually small enough that it will just slide straight in? Yes, it is. No. That's not going to work there. They've all got a shunt down. Move that. Move that. And that will have to go. From the Ghostbuster Firehouse with the splodgy face. Matt's Craving Chronicles. It's the detached brick, Killian. Now they're actual shorts to protect my dignity. So don't worry. I've actually got shorts underneath here in case it gets too hot. So I can whip my legs out at any point. I'm not wearing any boxers, Brian. It's just full-blown commando. So you're only seeing shorts. So that's the red colour. I live in gym shorts as well. I have got multiple layers on, so do not panic yourself. So yeah, we've got these, but they're actual short shorts. See? Short shorts. So, and then what have I got on? That's the colour that you're looking for. That's what we're after. That, see, it's like toxic luminous. You wouldn't get that anywhere else, Ryan. You wouldn't get that anywhere else. I've triple bagged it just in case. Yeah, that's it. I've got thermal on because I thought it was going to be really cold up here. I'm now questioning life decisions at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, but it's the detached brick. So it's in the. It's the old name, Killian. It's on the homepage. If that helps. So if you can't spell it, I can copy and paste it over. So it is. This one. That's the badger. There you go. Jay needs new knees. I am sweaty now doing this. I'm not going to lie. bright green ninja peeking through. Yeah, pretty much. So what was that? Piari? Mancano. There we go. Yeah, show it. So no, I've just put the email address in there, Killian, so I can put it up on the screen. So I can send it landscape, and it will hide your email address, and that way you won't get any stalkers after you. That's what I get when I get lazy. Come on. But no, I'm sure you don't. Anybody that's got any form of dignity, you would never see this on their channel. It's just me, because I am, as we know, an absolute moron. Oh, yeah, that's basically it. And the funny thing is, the wall's not straight at the back either, so I can't actually line those up. Endless nudes. So Jay, let us know how you need to go. And if he's double deep penetration is what that is. That's what that's looking like at the moment. And I don't know how many more we can actually go. So I can't put the cinema in. So the cinema needs to go back up on here before this gets damaged. So that will be going back to its connection point there. That is here. And that bit is there. There we go. So we have got Shadowbox or modulars. Email sent. Penetration has happened. What have you sent? Let's have a look. What do you guys and girls want to show off? Everybody's more than welcome to email, send it over, and we can share it on the stream. Just waiting for it to come through. Not yet, Killian. It's not come through yet. So we'll wait. We'll wait for it to come through. I'll check it in a minute. I've got the email open, but it's not yet come through. So right, okay. What can I do now? I now don't know we've got enough space for the shadow box for that. I think the shadow box might be too long. I don't know how many How many base plates of space we've got? How many spaces are left? Right, with 2. Right, we are 2 base plates. We've got 2 base plates left. If I can get 2 more modulars on, or is the shadow box going to fit? And it goes underneath here, hidden. 2 modulars or the shadow box, but is the shadow box 2 base plates wide? Oh, it might fit, you know. It might fit. Just refreshed it, Killian. Nothing as of yet. Oh, it's definitely on the right way. It's definitely on the way to the right one now. So who have you just randomly sent an email to? Here it is, Killian, second try. Right, let me just go through these. Nice, yeah, your email address isn't shown, so it's okay. We're all right, okay. Just double check all of those. No, it hides it, it's fine. Okie dokie. Right, so this is, let me go back to the first one. A truck from Kai, I do believe. Let's have a look. Here it comes. Boom. What's Kai spent on it? It's a cool looking thing. I do like the what pirate boat's that in the background? And I've got to be honest, I am a fan of those chocolate tub containers, more than likely for spare pieces as well. Very good. That looks smart, that. There we go. Nicely done. That is a nice truck, that. Queen Anne's Revenge. Nice. Attached to Rick. Actually, poor Rick's just got an email of these as well. I'm eyeballing the chocolate at the back. You got good taste. Good taste. Nicely done. Nicely done. Anybody else, feel free. You can send some emails over, and we can see what's going. We can see what's going on. Shadow box. I'm favouring the shadow box at the moment. I've lost my tape measure. I've got 2 of them. I've used them both. There's one. But the other one must be on the floor. Height-wise, it should go. Yeah, height-wise, it's fine. Right. Now, if we're going to commit to this, we're going to commit to it all in, and it's the last thing that goes on. So do we put the shadow box in last? So the shadow box is underneath the Marvel stuff, kind of hidden. Or it's either that or it goes to the left-hand side. So do I push all of them down, which doesn't really matter too much, and it goes in there, or not? Make a decision. I've got 2 base plates of space. That's it. So what are the next 2 that are going in? The treehouse obviously isn't going to fit in there. So I could put I've got the corner garage that could potentially go in there, but I just don't think the shadow box would go anywhere else up top. No, it wouldn't. Who is going to start the discussion off? Jay said, hide it. Put it to the right-hand side, underneath here, yeah? So to the right-hand side, so it's close to Joker Manor. It's either Shadowbox Modular. But it will fit. Well, I say it'll fit. I'm hoping it'll fit. All right, we're going to commit to it then, are we? Jay's jumped in. So we're going to have to pull. Oh, naughty. Naughty. No, I've got to... What did you forget to attach? The actual email? Hang on. This is what's going on in the background. No picture. Okay. No subject. Oh, I can't play it. I can't share it. Can I share media player? I don't think you can on this. Hang on. Can I share it or not? No. Bugger. It does, because it doesn't open within the email. I can't. Or will this work? No. I'll have a look at that later, Killian. Yeah, take a photo. Take a photo. Jay's like, hide it. Go for it. Just get on with it. Jay just wants me to be in pain tomorrow because he knows he's... Jay, you're going to be able to move tomorrow with all the amount of stuff that you're doing. Shadow box. Behind the balls. Right, so this is the most fragile thing I've moved so far, and it's in the most awkward place as well. So we've basically massively left the worst one to put in now. We should really put this in first and make my life a little bit easier. But of course, I can't take the top off this. So I am just going to hope for the best. I have just measured it. At least that bit still works. I've just blocked the car back in, so... Here it goes. That is the shadow box in all of its filthy glory. Da-da. Ooh, he says. So yeah, that's what that thing looks like. Big thing. Nice thing though. Just big. I've got to tip this in. Oh, no, not going to fit. Not a chance. Not a chance. No. Double nope. And nope. That is not happening. Why? Not a hope in hell. It's too wide between two bits of wood. Brickable World, how are we? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've just broke my neck. No, probably not because it's too long. I could try it. I can try it. We might have to try it in a different stream because I've tried now. I've got to fill the rest of the shelf up with stuff. Right, we have had an email. Where is it? Ah, nice. Okay, hang on. I need to tip that down. I'm trying to reach. There it is. There we go. Let's have a look. Kai. Hang on, let me just make sure. There we go. Right, that should be good. All right, here it is. So that is what is going. That is a lot of sorting. Question is, what is it you're sorting out? What are you parting out? That's a lot of tubs, Killian. Killian and Kai, that is a lot. I want to know what you're doing. Yeah, so we might have to keep this up top, or it goes in a Kallax. That would have been perfect on the shelf as well. Perfect on the shelf. So, the corner garage will go in there. I'll put that in just because it's in the way. That's if the corner garage fits on the shelf. If the corner garage doesn't fit on the shelf, then I'm absolutely stuffed. You're getting plugged back in, like so. I cannot get over how simple this was supposed to be. The plan was to get the Colosseum moved tonight. That is just not going to happen. That'll have to happen later on in the week. Random holes of Lego. Now, the shadow box could actually go behind the Avengers Tower. So if you want it hidden, and you actually see it through the gap over there. I've just realised I stood right in front where I was pointing. So that gap where the trees are, the shadow box could actually go through that way, and then Arkham could actually end up where the thing is. I'm very impressed with that. Yeah, so Kai's now in the chat. So Kai was the one that actually built the truck. So yes, it did look very good. It did look very, very good. But yeah, I'll take the corner garage out. Not breaking the ball. Eyeball. All right, so this will be the one that's launched in. I kneeled on a minifigure. Oh, that hurt. That tickled. Ow. Ow. Oh, that's getting difficult now. We are in the realms of pure pain and fruitiness all at the same time. That is horrible. Horrible. Oh, good grief. That's hidden in the corner. That's the corner garage gone anyway. Ow. Yes, very impressed with the truck. Let me catch back there, just in case. So, Reese asked, would it go where the corner garage is? Potential. There's potential. We might have to have a bit of a rejig because don't forget the upside down house is there. So the upside down house potentially could go back with the somewhere. I don't know where the hell that's going to go. No idea. Brick Award, good afternoon or morning to you. I think you're America way, aren't you? So Jay needs new knees. Ultra Bricks is doing the thing. Yeah, I've just seen Sean's image. So Sean's image. Good grief. Sean's message about a filthy image. I'm sure that's what's just happened. I've got the clean version and somebody else has just got the dirty one. I've just seen that they were white when I put them on last year. That was the boxer comment. So I've missed a few. I do apologise. Right, one more to get in. Books. Turns. That'll be better used elsewhere. They will be better used elsewhere. So I think what I'm going to have is I'm going to have 132 by 32 base plate for something else on this shelf. I think. Yeah, I am. So I leave that free for something. Or should I? I'll put them there and there for now. I can get sorted out later. Right, that's one. I'm struggling now to move. There what? If I knew it was going to be this difficult, it would have been a much easier idea to sand these shelves down. Get in there. There it is. Right, they're all in. That's like that was a 10-minute job, an hour and 24 minutes ago. About to commence booklet number 2 on the A-frame. Reese says, I thought your truck was very cool. Yeah, the truck was good. It was a good looking thing. How long did it take you to do, Kai? So that is what that's looking like. So that means now we've got the joys of a Ghostbuster firehouse to rehome. Why do I have a feeling a Ghostbuster firehouse is not going to fit in a Kallax? Have I just thought of this? I think I have. Ew, bugger. The Ghostbuster Firehouse might be going next to the Avengers Tower, or I can't move that. Oh dear. Didn't think of that, did I? Ghostbuster Firehouse is gonna be, I guarantee it's gonna be too tall. This is me. I could just look at it on the instructions, but 14.5 inches. Oh. Oh, I'm so close. So close. Right, so that's not going to work. Oh my days. This is all gone wrong. All gone wrong. Right, we are. Just like, because it won't. I said right at the start, I'll be moving this into a Kallax. I'm like, it's not going to fit in a Kallax. So the Ghostbuster Firehouse has to go on top of the table. So the Ghostbuster Firehouse will go behind the Avengers Tower. There we go. Yeah, it might just be for the one race, I think. Yeah, because Monday's quite quiet. And there's no new news either, is there? So, and then more than likely won't be able to kick things off again until Thursday. So you'll have an upload Tuesday and an upload Wednesday. And then I won't be able to carry on with this until Thursday. So I'll get back to you late. Because it won't. Nice. Ah, that's just going to block the Unchained Coffee as well, isn't it? You are joking. You are joking. Front of the shelf. That is a different problem for a different day. I'm not going to be pulling all of that out. Because if I put the Ghostbuster Firehouse next to the Avengers Tower, you are not going to see a ton of thing. And I am stumped to where any of that can go. This is really not going to, as normal. It's just really not going to plan. Why? So it looks like Thursday is going to be, unless I can just tidy up some space before I go live. There's a lot now needs to go in those Kallaxes. And then I've got to tidy up the floor space now for the sail barge. Because there's no point me moving over the Colosseum. Even the Colosseum would look, it's going to look good in that corner. Oh, I put the Colosseum in for sizing. And we actually see what it looks like for size. I think it might be better having it spacious. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to fit, Joe. Not going to fit. It is not going to work there. So the Ghostbuster Firehouse has to go somewhere on top. but I don't. Might as well actually try it. I'll put it there and see what it looks like. Because if it'll work there, because I can see the Statue of Liberty from this side, so it's probably going to be a massive block for the front of the set. That's going to be the only problem. So we will put the Ghostbusters Firehouse in first, and just see, because if the Ghostbusters Firehouse doesn't fit there, then that's going to be a case of I can't move the 8080 over. Ideally, if it doesn't fit there, the Ghostbusters Firehouse would go where the Jazz Club is, but I need to move the 8080 over by 32 studs, and I don't have the space for that for the ceiling height, so I can't move that over. If I could literally move this over by 32 studs, it'll be fine. So I could put the Daily Bugle behind the Avengers Tower, but maybe that won't look... I don't think that'll look good at all. I like doing random emojis for no reason, says Killian. Hang on. Well, if you want random emojis, you've got all sorts of random... We can make random emojis up for you, look, see? We've got all sorts of them. Right, okay. Putting up a foot it is. Putting up a foot. So, Potter is a different move. Oh. That's a shame. I was going to say, Potter could actually go behind the Avengers Tower. Yeah, that won't fit. It's 2 base plates, not base plate and a half. But could we put Potter? We've left space for Arkham. So I've left a base plate space for Arkham. Which space is actually behind them? 2 base plates of space. I think it is. Yeah, the ATA, yeah. That's not going to work. That's just going to open up a whole world of hurt if I try to do something like that. Not going to work. Right, Ghostbusters Firehouse is on its way. If I can throw this thing somewhere over there. Over there. This thing is so heavy. It always freaks me out moving this. I don't want it to snap its own base plate off. It's on the way. It's on the way. On the way. This thing is massive, by the way. As you can tell, it's huge. Side flap was open. I don't know if I can actually reach to put this on. Does that work there? Does that look all right? I thought it would block it off a lot more, but actually you can see it okay, can't you? Because the Arkham would just go directly behind it. That work? If that sits in there, then that would be angle. That would be handy. I'm looking at what you look at. Doesn't look too bad. Like if I pulled it out to there and got out the way. We'll take a look at it from the other side. Yeah, there's not just work on the shelf from where I'm stood. That doesn't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad. Just depends on when that eyeball goes back, how much it blocks. Because that's going to be the next problem. The eyeball's not going to work there, which means the Ghostbusters Firehouse won't be able to stay there. Because the eyeball can't go anywhere else. Because we don't have the ceiling height. Yeah, it's all right at the moment, but when this gets put back, the Statue of Liberty I can see fine. It just blocked the eyeball blocks off, but that's where it was before. So that's where it was. That's where it was before. There's nowhere else. Nowhere else that eyeball can now go. Okay. Yeah, it looks all right. I make displays with it. It's okay. But the eyeball will just have to stay there for now. Have to. Right, so that means then because at the moment I'm now on this bit. Now, see, all of these will not be staying here. This is all going to go. Can I play? So if I can actually play tag, this should be interesting. Because my problem is I need the Roman Colosseum's coming over on this side, but it is so big it needs to go on this table. So I don't know whether I could pick you up, put you on this table, get the Roman Colosseum, put it on the table, crawl underneath the table and put it in the corner, and put all this stuff on the table. And then I can carry on with either on the next live stream or I can carry on moving this separately in the car, because the coax is obviously over the loft ladders and that's really difficult to place you. So I could possibly do that off camera. But the question is, can I get you lot in the correct position? Reese has got code brown. Is it bad, Reese? Is it touching cloth? Have we got to that bit? Because the Colosseum's got to go in first. And I think I'm going to put tan down, is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going a little bit different, because if we're going to go green on the one side and we've got grey, because grey would make more sense. This grey would make more sense because of, obviously, it's part of a city, but it needs to have its own thing. So I think I'm going to go for this colour and put all of the bits and pieces on there. You've just gained a whole extra Billy. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. So all of these sets that I'm bringing over are on the wiggle. Yeah, on the, hello, all of these are on the move. That is definitely not going to fit in there. The Colosseum, I can't get that in that gap. So the shadow box is going to have to move now. Oh, bugger. And I can't put the shadow box up on that shelf because I have to move the Daily Bugle and the Avengers Tower, and I don't know where to put it. So that's not going to work. Oh, the joys. The joys. All right, so you are out the way, but this is moving. I can't believe you've... How is it you've gained a Billy? What is it you've done? Well, you bought one. That defeats the object. If you bought something, Jay, then I don't know if that classes as gaining it. All right, I'm going to have to put this somewhere else. Oop. All right, we are now turning you around because, of course, there's two sides to this room, don't forget. So you can have a look at that side. And I am base plates there. Shadow box is going to go there. So these need to come out. And that needs to go in, basically. it was my build of the year, Ultra. Yeah, the shadow box was the build of the year for me. So the this side is incredible. This side is unbelievably flimsy. So yeah, it's yeah, the shadow box is amazing. Like, the detail in it is just incredible. It is very, very good, but only half of it. The other side, like this bit, obviously adds to it, but I find that quite flimsy. Whereas this side is where all the weight is, but it's not as dark as what it made it out to be on the actual promo images. So, and there's a light brick on this as well. You got the light brick, but yeah, it works. It's okay. Yeah, it does the trick. Yeah, you can see it, so it's all right. I've got to step over a loft bit there. Look, there's a loft ladder there. But what always happens to me is like it's just done the same thing then. The door just keeps wanting to split. I can't keep that there. No, that's too big. That goes somewhere in there. I'll mess around that display later. Oh no. It's all on par. I mean, like, I would say the shadow box, half the shadow box was incredible. The other bit was just, it's still to this day super flimsy. The T-Rex was just a joy. That was just really nice to put together, and the death slice just went together really quickly. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think I'm gonna have to reconsider life choices with this. So that's where it was before. So I could see that really clearly, look. So that's where it was before. Actually adding to it now. But I need to get the other bits. Hey, what did you have for food? What was for munch? Top 3 builds. It would have to be one. If I went just for different themes, it would be, I don't know. The eyeball is obviously a very good end result, but then so is the Apocalypseburg. The Shadow Box is amazing. The T-Rex is very, very good. I have one of the Ninjago sets. So yeah, a bit spoilt for choice really with those. But it's quite interesting how the design techniques change over periods of time. So like a lot of you guys would like the Rivendell, but probably because you're involved with the Rivendell and you like that kind of thing. So it's yeah, it's one of those. But because what's the top 3 you've done then, everybody? On build experience, not end result. I was very surprised with how nice the slice was to actually build. That shocked me a lot. Ninjago Old Town was very, very just easy to build. To be fair, it'll be the Winter Bricklink stuff. So the Winter Chalet's up there for one of the best builds with the Art of Chocolate. Like those two are top tier for enjoyment of putting together. So if you're going by sets that are just nice to put together, I would probably say the Winter Chalet and the Art of Chocolate, both of those are up there. And then there's a selection for a third, but those two would be top 2 of the list, I would imagine. And if we go recently, I'd say the Old Town. So that's the most recent. That's the most recent newer build that I've done so far. But no, the Winter Chalet and the Art of Chocolate, and I think Sean will agree, they're just such next level. Oh, hang on, we're getting emails in this evening. So that's where the Batmobiles will end up going. Look, see. So those Batmobiles just live there. That's starting to free up that. That's starting to free up that back bit. Yeah, that looks right. I can see that very, very clear. So there's your cars. Probably not coming through on camera very well, but it's only on the laptop. But it's really easy for me to see that. So that's quite nice. That's quite a nice little thing. So that's gone back into its home. Yeah, just hidden away as a random, just a display for myself. Probably not a theme park display. That's just a display for myself. So that's all right. Let me see what's going on. Can't see from here. He can't see from here as he crawls back underneath the table. Crawling. Not much. Nothing exciting. Gillian. Nothing exciting, Kai. Oh, yeah, you wanted to see the size of that, didn't you? Hang on then. Doing this to me on purpose now, you know, aren't you? Yeah, this thing is huge. Yeah, it's a big old beast. See, it's modular as well, so the roof comes off from the side, back flaps open up, and yeah, it's a big thing. So if you do that compared to say a little magazine build. It's huge, look, see? Yeah, big. So yeah, it's a real nice set. And if you go by what we normally go by, which would be, say, a monster can, there you go. So it's big. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, the blacksmith's amazing. So yeah, the 15th anniversary Ninjago sets are just outstanding. Yeah, so this is very, very good. So this works perfectly fine with, because obviously this is part of my Ninjago 15th anniversary section of the theme park. So I've got the blacksmith and I've got the old town. So yeah, it does the trick. So I've got the stag, got all the minifigures I need to put in. But yeah, this thing's a chunk. It's a chunk. But no, it works nice. No, it does work nicely. Right, let me crawl back underneath, have a look at this email from Mr. J. What is going on with the J? All right, what is going on? Yeah, I think it's going to go in a sale, that one, Reese. It will, because it's everywhere. So it's an amazing build. Like it's just an enjoyable thing. But obviously the Ninjago stuff is always made up of much smaller elements, but they add a lot to it. Which I was quite surprised with these bases for the Pokemon. They were quite big pieces that they used for that, which I was quite surprised with. So yeah, the old it scales perfectly well with the old town. So it does the trick. And of course, now you've seen the pilot episode again, you know what that's all about, right? G to the mail. Right, let's have a look. Just make sure that they're all covered. Right, here we go. So Mr. Jerry's Toy Collection UK has just sent an email through, and this is what it is. So this is Jay. This is the display that he's been doing this afternoon and this evening, I do believe. So you've got all the Billies. All of these are the different wrestling figures. So when Jay said he was moving close to 1,000 of them, he was not lying at all. And then that's the spare shelf. I'm assuming, Jay, that those socks on the floor are what you've been dusting with, are they? They're your dusting socks. You've actually taken them off your own feet. So there is a pair of socks. Just down there. I think my head's in the way, so I don't think you can. Oh, you can see them. I think. I'm not too sure if they're crusty though. Are they used? What's going on? Is that your pants or your socks? I'm more concerned with what that is, to be quite honest, than anything else. But that's whatever that is. I'm not too sure if they are crusty or whatever. And talking of crusty, there he is over on this side with all of the Simpsons and more of the wrestling. So that does look very, very smart indeed, sir. So how many hours you spent doing that? Are they now, Jay? What? Yeah, but this is the thing. They obviously were clean, and Jay has used them. They're Kiara's from the washing. So what Jay's done is actually he's stolen somebody else's socks and has cleaned all. This is what he does. He cleans all the shelving with a pair of socks. Yeah, the Simpsons figures that Jay's got is just outrageous. Outrageous. They are very, 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 very nice. Very, very, very nice. Right, so I am slowly. So I think what I'll do is I'll finish when we get the Colosseum in the corner. Because I don't really want to start doing that. I think that I think that would suck if I started that way. So it'd be quite nice just to see what that's like and make sure that there's space with this. I think it'd be okay. I think it'll be all right. Yeah, so Joe's got a fair few figures. Oh, I just knocked the 8080 and nothing fell off. I could do a really long stream one day, and I could do like a weekend stream where we literally start at like 10 o'clock in the morning all the way through and strip this down as much as it needs to be stripped down, repair what we can, and then try and get it finished in 2 days, in 2 stints. We could do like a 10 till 7 and a 10 till 7. Wouldn't that be like? Safe to say, Jay likes wrestling. Yeah, that is very true. Safe to say. So yes, because we've got green over on the big models with the Pokemon and other bits and pieces. Now, doing this also allows me to keep the Bowser and the NASA with the larger Pokemon, because it's going to free up the top of the Kallax. So we're actually gaining more space. So we're saying that we probably want about 4 table space in total. We wouldn't be too far off, because it will be 3 and a bit tables plus the top of a Kallax for Pokemon now. So it means the smaller little models can go up there. What sets what? Gonna have to hang the 8080. Right. I need just a few without any tiles on. And I am hoping it will, if it doesn't fit between the wall and the back leg of this 8080, absolutely snookered. It wouldn't even be close. It would just be a complete and utter disaster. So I'm getting I've got to go and get it from over there. So you might as well see it from there first, and then we'll do it in stages. So I'm going on an adventure all the way over there. You do need to be plugged back in, because I keep unplugging you, and it's not happy when that happens. So you're plugged back in. I'm going to have to hang myself, probably. I do like a Mission Impossible on the ceiling. Right, that's the lighting. Oh dear. Where can I put this sail barge so it does not get damaged? Questions. Oh dear. I do not have the answer to that. Do not have the answer. Whoa. Knee just fell down the loft ladders, not gonna lie. Oh, the Bowser's incredible. I'm gonna have to put it over here. That's where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna go. Right, okay. Sail barge. Go. I think safety, the sail barge will fit. Hopefully, it will fit in the Kallax. Yeah, right, that's safe. Safe. So So we'll get this moved and then we'll start to wrap things up, I think. No, it's going to be built, Reese. It's going to be built. Especially what we're doing now. It just reminds me of the Lego house. So it's going to be built, that. Yeah, the bows is very, very good. So can I get this on to here? So of course, we haven't actually finished building this yet, have we? What a monstrosity this is. Right, spin that round, get you in, and we will see what is going on. Right. Oh, we're going over there. That's where we're going. That's what we're aiming for. Another tan base plates. Will this go? Not a problem, Kai. Take it easy. I don't think so, guys. No, because it's getting too late now. It all depends on if this goes in and we stop or what. But by the time I've tidied everything up, it'll probably it wouldn't be until probably 8 o'clock anyway, and then I wouldn't probably be able to start one until 9. So it might be a little bit late. So there might not be the dirty tonight, but they will return later on in the week. Don't you worry. Does look nice though. What do you think? Oh, balls. I didn't give myself enough room. Well, it's in, and it's only just in because it is 2.5 base plates. Takes up 2.5 base plates in width, so it's that is a big thing. So that's in. We'll put a sand base plate here. The rest of it will go sand. So what have we got base plate wise? We'll have 3, 6, 9. So it's the extension is going to be this bit, I'm assuming, because we've got 9 base plates over there, haven't we? So I'm going to have to really think of, because we put these two together, but we haven't gained any space. We have, but not a huge amount. Bugger. Right, one more base plate. This one. Put that one down. That'll do for now. So yeah, that'd be your tan. And we'll go from there. This will look really nice here, actually, because it's going to be a real nice scale for me, because it's not going to be super empowering. But it's still only going to be 9 base plates of space with that. Balls. Because that takes up 4. All right, swallows 4. Okay. Well, it's in. At least it's in. It just needs to be repaired. But at least it's in. So we have managed to do it. Right, guys, I'm going to start to wrap things up now. Just keep your eyes peeled, depending on what time it all is. By the time I've sorted all this stuff out up here and actually can get to the loft ladders and all that kind of stuff. So if we do one, then it will just be a random sort of 45-minute one, looking at the little bits and pieces. That works spot on there. But we had a 9 base plate display for the architecture stuff over on that side, and we've only got 9 base plates of space left on this side because the Colosseum's so big. So we've gained a base plate just here, so we could put another smaller set here, and then we've gained a little bit, but not a huge amount. But it would be easy for me to display this way. So we will see. So if I can just go from back to front and then get it all sort of dotted around, we will make the display up of this on the next live stream. Because obviously I can't build anything until this is in. I will make space for Potter off the stream, maybe, because all of it will have to go in, and once it's in, actually, to be honest, I could just put Potter on the table. I'll just put Potter where the Colosseum is, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, you've gained height for your rocket. Ah. So Jay's going to get the Tintin. I'm assuming that's what Jay's talking about, Tintin. Nowhere near, John. No, I'm going to wrap things up now. The Colosseum's been moved. All the bits and pieces have been moved. Ghostbusters Firehouse is over on that side. All the modulars have gone underneath the shelf. So the modulars are in. So they're all, I think this is dead, so you can't even, I don't think you can see it on this one. Oh, it does. So yeah, they're in there, look, somewhere. So they go all the way underneath. All finished? Yeah. To be fair, John, yeah. It just looks the same as normal, and absolutely chaotic. But no, this now is all going to be the architecture stuff. Still going to be problematic, though. Still going to be problematic. Yeah, so we're in good stead now, because all the architecture sets that are over there will fit here. So we can get those in no problems. We can do that on the next one. I just got to move the Harry Potter stuff. That's just going to go in the Kallax. That'd be good. The shadow box has found a home, so that's okay. And there's space for a few more vehicles if the time, if that ever happens with the time. The Kallax is literally going to be like a Jaws display and a Potter display at the moment. So we can maybe go for half and half. Yeah, the problem, as you know, John, now the problem is that you literally have to go around one or two sets, and that's it. But this to my right used to be where the Winter Village displays were, and it actually worked really well because it's the least height in the whole room, because this is obviously a lot higher. So the back wall, there's no space at all. So if I put all these in, it should be good, because potentially where I'm sat is going to be where the Eiffel Tower is going to go. It'll just be here. All of this is going to move that way. Now my plan was to lose a table. So this table that I have to keep crawling under when we do the live streams can actually be tucked against the wall. So if I'm not building, I can walk rather than crawl, which would make my life a lot easier. But I am now looking at this going, I don't know whether the 88, I know, it's bad, isn't it? I don't know, Jay. I don't know. I know where you're talking, but the none of it would fit underneath. So it'd need to be smaller. It would need to be smaller stuff. The Pokemon can fit on top of the Kallax, and the Bowser could just stay where it is, so it all mixes and matches with nice, bright, big colours. Because I still think the NASA rocket, Bowser, this thing, and Pikachu as a 5 or a 4, technically 5, because you've got the smaller sets as well, is the front of that table. And then the two tables across the back and the top of that Kallax can easily be all the Pokemon stuff. Because don't forget, you're looking at years until all these tables are full. So there's no need to do that now. It's just that I was hoping that I would have had more space on this side, and I don't. So I'm going to have to do a different configuration for that, because it still doing it this way doesn't allow me any more architectural space. So any more of the city sets or anything like that, I can't get any more of them in. Because like I said, 9 over there, 9 over here, plus a little bit. So I might be able to reconfigure that and squeeze them in. No, it would not have, because again, it won't fit behind the green thing. So if I did that, then I would lose 5 base plates if I did that, because you wouldn't be able to put anything else behind it. But no, this works here fine, and the others will work here fine. It's just that there'll be no space for expansion for any of the smaller stuff. But it frees up 9 base plates of space for Pokemon stuff at a later date, which is fine. I've got this table that isn't doing anything, but I didn't want to. I wanted to lose it, and the table that you're on was going to go into the wall and back out. And funny enough, I'm actually doing a video diary of all of this at the same time. So when you actually come back to see it, you're like, oh, I see what your plan was. But that now might no longer happen. Because if I didn't, this table could just be future expansion for the architectural side of stuff. There would just be 1 or 2 more buildings, and it would scale nicely with Ninjago. But it just means that this table would have to stay as it is, and I'd have to always crawl underneath it, which sucks. Because how many times have I gone underneath it today? Because we were talking about putting the Roman Colosseum up top and putting all the small architectures in the Calaxes, but that won't work because then the other stuff will be too far away from it. But we can get it all in on the next stream, see what it looks like. That will fill this side up and it will complete across the top. So there's nothing else I can put across the top apart from pull the Stranger Things out, which, to be honest, the Stranger Things could go up against the Death Star. That might be the only set that would fit there. But the upside down house, I don't know if the upside down house and the crew house would fit up there, but there's potential that the upside down house and the crew house would fit beside the Death Star just because it's an awkward ceiling height. And then the Arkham, if that was ever purchased, would go where that is. So there's space left for that. And there's a lot of space on these tables to my left. Loads of space. So yeah, we're doing good for space for the Pokemon stuff. We've got plenty of space for that. That's not a problem at the moment. It's just the smaller architectural buildings. I've got Paris to make up, and that is included within that 9 base plate configuration. But if I wanted the Japanese castles and the medium-sized ones, no, the balls. The big problem is, what is the new architecture set going to be? Because the new architecture set's going to be big. Bugger. It's not that complicated, Ultra, because you've got the bits that are going on here. So you've got nine base plates of architecture sets here. That's where the end of the table finishes. You've got the stuff that you guys have done. So all of that's you. So you know what was happening on there. You've got 4 tables of Pokemon space with the bows and other little bits and pieces. Where we put all the architecture sets before, that's going to be empty. And then it just wraps around for Ninjago. That's basically it. There's nothing else on the top. Because that would have to go on that table. So I can't lose that table. It does fit in a Kallax. But then where does the new one go? And where does the Eiffel Tower go? So I can't put, if with the new one, I can't put that in the Kallax and I can't put the Eiffel Tower anywhere near it. Whereas I can if it goes here, because the Eiffel Tower could literally go here and the other big set will go on that table and all of the other architecture sets will just go in between it. Because those Kallax at the moment, that Kallax will just have the Potter in and it's got the Jaws display in. It's thinking of stuff that's not already here that will happen at some point. It's a crawl space. Yeah, so that stuff. So you've basically got the green, and it keeps going back, and then it keeps going back even more. So yeah, it would be twice as wide as this. If it was a flat roof, it would be twice as wide. Yeah, but it's not. So it can't. Because the Eiffel Tower on a lac small table, which is near enough exactly 4 base plates, on the floor, the Eiffel Tower just touches the top of the roof. Yeah, I'll start digging, shall I? We'll start digging the bits and pieces. But no, that will work. The architecture stuff will work on that side. I'm not worried about that at all, because I'd have literally a horseshoe of architecture sets wrapped in around. And then in the Kallaxes, it could be its own separate display. Because if the architecture sets are in the Kallax, you wouldn't get the feel of it being a mini-land walkthrough, and that's what the point of it is. So got the bigger models on my left, the smaller models with obviously the Colosseum and stuff on my right. And then it's 9 base plates of nothing. And then Potter, Jaws. So at the moment we are doing all right. We are doing good. We are doing good, but it is just that I know that there is another large, and if it's the same size as, if it's going to be the same base footprint as that, the Eiffel Tower, where it will, on its own little table, will fit before it hits the ceiling. So I've actually brought the table up and built it. That's the series that I'm literally filming it alongside this. But the move around for this isn't going to go to plan. Which I would need to be sat where you are, and this will shunt down half a table. But the plan was to be able to push it back in, and that's not going to work now. Because this side's not big enough for the Pokemon stuff. It's that staying on that side. We're spoiled basically. We're doing all right. We've got options, so it's okay. It's just making sure that there's breathing space. Yeah, but we did. Yeah, that is the other option. If we did that, they could just stay there because it fits there, and then it's 9 base plates of expansion, and then you've got the bigger stuff. Because the Pokemon stuff isn't going to get to the top of that, because that would have just been the extra space. Yeah, that's what I said that before. Yeah, that's it. So that's the two options. It either stays where it is and it gets put there and it stays there, and then you've got small mini land into multiple big models into this, which would work for the next foreseeable future. Yeah, that's one of the two options. Because if the other big one would fit on here, and then we put some of the medium-sized ones on here, it means I can get rid of that table and then not have to crawl underneath. Because my plan was, obviously I plan a load of stuff off the stream, don't I? So the plan was to lose the table, have the light on a tripod, so it's permanently up. And then if I'm not now using this table, it would be pushed to the wall, so I can then just walk up and down the room and pull it back out again when I'm building and unboxing. That's the plan. That would make more logical sense rather than me crawling under all the time. Because the whole back row, you could get loads of Pokemon on there to start with. Loads and loads. Because you've got two tables and nothing on it. So that's how it could start. Balls. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So I've even measured the Eiffel Tower to go to my right, and it will not fit even if it's on the floor. It sticks out so much from the wall because of this slope is so big. It's too tall. It's too tall. But no, that's the best thing to do. Just leave this free with nothing on. Just have nothing else on this until we know what the next one is. There's no way the other one's going to be bigger than 9 base plates. Surely it can't be bigger than 9 base plates. I mean, it might be, but I can't imagine it being bigger than 9 base plates. But at least the modulars are in. The Colosseum's in, looking great. The architecture stuff, because like I said, it's only the small one that I need to build up for Paris, and it's there, it's done, so it's absolutely fine. The carousel's going underneath with the Jurassic Park when that gets spread over, so there's nothing on those back tables. So we've got plenty of space. Can it? Because that Colosseum, as big as it is, I mean, still, like, you've got to remember that inside that Colosseum, that is the Flintstones Lego Ideas set that's in there. So that is just over 4 base plates, but it has sat in the middle of it something that big. So that's the Flintstones Ideas house with the roof, and I've just put it in there because it swallows it. And don't forget, it'll be the last big one for like 4 years. So yeah, so we'll just leave those 9 base plates free. I think the NASA set, Joe, would fit lovely right in the corner of that table. I think it's going to go NASA, Bowser, Big 3, Pikachu, and then all Pokemon behind it. And then if the NASA has to move, then fine, it will come over to this bit. But because the NASA gives it a little bit of height at the end of that table, the NASA one going here, let's actually have a look. Let's have a look. Would that actually fit? Would the NASA one fit? Because it's deceiving. It is very, very deceiving. So we know that this is a big chunky monkey thing, don't we? I've got it up on the screen now. So we know it's a chunk. That's how it's nearly 3 base plates tall. That does say 27 and a half, doesn't it? 27 and a half. Oh, that is a pair of plums. 27 and a half. That is an absolute nightmare. So 27 and a half. A full base plate in. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't even think it will go at the front because this is so high. Don't forget, this is much higher than your normal table. $27 is touching the roof on the back of a 32 by 32 base plate. Oh yeah. So like you got all of this here. So with 3 base plates from the back, and the back of the first base plate to the ceiling is the back of the base plate says 27 and a half. But it is wider than a base plate. So depending on what way it faces, it might actually be too tall to go in this gap. So because the base plate behind it, because it drops really quickly. So the middle of the next base plate behind it is 24. And then you lose it and lose it and lose it and lose it. Because like the dragon's touching the ceiling. But it depends on how it depends on how big the other one is. Probably, yeah. Because the problem is, how tall do we think the new one's going to be? Because if that has to get brought forward, then the NASA won't fit there. The Pokemon's not going to be a problem for a while, and then it will become a bit of an issue. But at the same time, they could go into some of the Calaxes. Like, they could just be fed into them and be lit. I mean, we're trying to forward plan a long, long way down the line, I know. But we don't know what this other set is, do we? It can't be bigger than 9, surely. It might be, but I don't think it is. Right, well, that's food for thought, isn't it? So we will wrap things up now. We're well underway. So I will, because obviously no matter what happens, all this needs to be base plated anyway, so we can see what this looks like. If we're going to go for that plan, which I think is the best way of doing it, is that stays grey, then it goes to green, and this side is sand. So you've got 3 distinctive colours of the architectural walkthrough. And it starts at that far end. It's the whole side of the room. It's this end, this side, with the Eiffel Tower in between. Well, this is it, I know. But the Super Cheese... Reese came up with a good idea. So there's potential that actually Reese's joke might be one of the best things to do, because Reese doesn't know it about the other Super Cheese, but came up with an idea of the cheese, and you could have the cheese and the Super Cheese tip to tip on the angle off the green bit on that side, and it's the backdrop to everything else in front of it, so it covers that gap. And it starts right at the far corner, and you've got 1, and you're going you either go tip to tip or engine to engine, and it just goes full length, because you would have enough length for both of them, because they're going to be a meter each ish, you would think. So you could have 2 angled cheeses tip to tip, blocking off the backdrop. Depending on the wingspan, it shouldn't eat into the table either, but it would have to be screwed to the wood, pinned to the floor, and pinned to the roof. And it is an architectural scale, so it actually would work, because you would just have a path going right past it, looking at them, and then you'd have the Pokemon just stepped in front. So it's not a bad shout if the little architecture set's staying over that end. We could literally have a cheese sandwich in the middle. Small architecture sets, cheese sandwich against the back, all these bigger models on this left side, and you've got the medium side architecture models on the right hand side, which would work. Yeah. The only problem is with this cheese sandwich, and I guess what we're going to have to try it, aren't we, is the wing span to the ceiling height and the table height. Because I have tried to measure, and obviously it's very difficult to measure it properly, but if it would angle, and you don't want it you want it as much like that as possible. Because of course, if it starts to angle like that, you're going to be eating into like half a meter of the table at the back, and then we can't afford that. Because it'd be like it for the whole thing, wouldn't it? But there is potential but it's all like, how wide is the other one? How wide is this one? What's my gap from top to bottom at the angle? That I can potentially tell you. I can reach. So we're we're 4 base plates back that way, and then there's a gap from the back base plate to the thing. So the gap, see the gap where it's just white? The white piece to the top of the roof is 1/2 meter at the angle coming off that slope. It's 1/2 meter. So the wingspan on this is bigger than that. The wingspan of this is 56. I don't know if I could actually get them behind the green thing rather than in front. So you just saw the tops of them. I'd have to crawl underneath the table to do that. Because if it went behind, it would literally just be a real life cheese sandwich backdrop. And it wouldn't eat into any of the display at all. So there's an option. That'd be so much work. That would have to be done as a really long live stream on a weekend. Literally just start, just crawl underneath, just bring it, figure out where it can go. No, it wouldn't work. It could go behind. I actually think it could go behind. Yeah, but there's space behind the table. That's the thing. This because of how it is, the table is butted up to the green thing, but behind it there's loads of space, and I just can't put anything there. So I could have it so it's like that, but to the back of the table and underneath the green wood, so you see the top. You won't see all of it, obviously, but it's an option because you would see everything into the middle. But it's just dependent on, I'd have to get a load of brackets and figure out how it fits. That is the thing. That would be a very interesting project because there is the opportunity to do something, but it's just a lot of work. Because obviously the other answer is I pull the table towards me. We don't cut anything. We don't do anything. The tables just come over. But if the tables come over, this table, because realistically what you want is you want the wing on the inside of the wood. So you would have the wing on the inside of the wood, and you would want the other wing to the back of the table so it doesn't eat up into any space. Now, obviously, if I pull these tables over, it would fit because there'd be more of a space, wouldn't there? But this table that I'm on is that much sandwiched in. But if that table, if we sacrifice that table, I can move this one that way. I could bring all this over that way. Yeah, there is actually an option for that bit, that whole back. There's actually proper food for thought for that. Right, well, we'll carry on as we are, because that, no matter what happens, the set has to go underneath the table. It has to be crawled through, because it can't be fed over the top. So if get a different style, we could potentially do a different style, because I've got the it wouldn't even need to be the big one. It would need to be the one that's just got 4 base plates, which I've got 2 of. Because that'd be smaller, but that'd be too low. Yeah, to have to sort of figure out how high to raise it up and put it on stuff, and then it might go on a custom stand, and you actually have it flying, and it'd be, because it's a model like the others, it could be the back part of the Miniland section. So that would actually work. Yeah, Jay's got a loft full. Jay's got the goods up in the loft. Yeah, I have to have a bit of a play. Right, guys. Well, now it's too late to do a double, because by the time I've sorted everything out and everything else like that, it'll be tomorrow. So we'll end it now. We'll carry on a live stream on Thursday, because I'm back in too late tomorrow, unless I can get back in time and do a late one. So if a normal video goes up, then you know that I just can't do it. If not, it'll be Thursday. You have a normal video tomorrow, normal video Wednesday anyway, and then we'll carry on in here doing the same thing on Thursday, but probably a little bit longer. More than likely, it might be the same thing Friday, but it would be nice to get Charizard built Friday or Saturday, so it's in and safe, and then we can crack on and go from there. Right, guys, take it easy, everybody. Thanks for your help and joining and everything else. Hopefully you guys and girls enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch up with you all soon. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.